This is actually better because now I can see you better.
Now I can see the
I want to be able to see your
lights
beautiful
surrounding
face.
you.
So
don't be afraid of something new. How dare ChatGPT
Did it not work out the
No,
song?
never. Oh, Seven Armies, of course. Pink Panther
course.
theme. You know the Pink Panther theme? Dun, dun, dun,
If what it was
dun,
that.
dun, 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 dun. It doesn't anything like that. Fuck you, ChatGPT. I love you, but I hate you at the same time.
Fuck you, ChatGPT.
You're too inconsistent with me. Sometimes you make me happy, sometimes very upset. I need some consistency in my life, ChatGPT. We have to go separate ways.
Why are you doing it in a Kiwi accent?
I don't know why I do anything I do. Don't question me.
Don't. What do they say? Don't at me.
Don't question me about my life decisions.
Okay, no, that looks good. It's not blocking your face, is it?
It's not what the people are here for.
I think they're here for lots of things.
Secretly.
All right, we're on.
We ready to go?
We're ready.
We go.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody.
Episode 9?
9. What's that in Japanese?
9.
Oh no, that's not it.
Episode 9.
Wait, no. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, raku,
hachi, Q.
Hachi?
Q.
Q. Are you sure that's not 8?
No, because Jew is 10.
We're going to get cancelled.
You be careful.
We're going to get cancelled.
9, not Jew. It's Q.
Okay, Q.
Episode Q.
Episode Q. That's cute. Cute. Oh gosh, what a start to the episode.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone.
We were due for another travel, but our next travel is New Zealand again, so we thought we might split it up a little bit more, and we're doing another introspective.
Yeah.
And today we're flipping the switch on reality. Woo! Today, so we a little saying we love is your mentality creates your reality. We love stuff that rhymes. If it rhymes, it must be true. But so a lot of the times, us as human beings, we act as if it's the opposite way, though. So we wait for our reality to inform our mentality. But reality is just always just going around doing whatever it is it does. We have no influence on it. We think we can control it, but we can't. We have very little control on our reality. But our mentality is something that we can control. So rather than waiting for the external to inform the internal, we got to flip the switch and be like, I'm going to set my mental state first, and then that's where I'm going to create from, rather than I'm going to allow everything around me to tell me how I'm going to feel today.
Yeah, I think it's so important, and it's funny, we were just talking about this on Jess and I's podcast, Let's Overthink, yesterday. We were talking about like...
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Check it out. But no, it's so important to focus on the energy, not just like we've talked about goals before, but this is more taking it a step further, and it's like identifying the energy behind what's driving the goal or what's driving some vision that you have for your life. And you can use the word, I know people get a little bit triggered by the word manifesting, but huge trigger.
Cannot compute. Too woo-woo.
But and if you don't like that word, like, you don't have to use it, you can use something else. But at the end of the day, we're talking about visualizing what you want in life and actually picturing it, and not only picturing what it looks like, what that dream, what that goal,
What it smells like.
Yeah, no, you can take it that far, but it's also going a step further and thinking about the energy behind it. So let's say, for example, okay, for us, like a goal for us is probably to have maybe a few more podcast clients and to have people coming in and out of this studio and having amazing conversations. So what that might picture, like what that might look like, sorry, is kind of like right now we've got the studio set up, we've got a client sitting in the chair and they've got a guest sitting with them and they're having a conversation and Hugh and I are behind the cameras. And then when I go a step further and think about how does that make me feel, it makes me feel excited, it makes me feel inspired, it makes me feel creative. And so I think focusing on those energies, and I think focusing on the positive energy rather than the negative energy, because what drives you towards your goals quicker and more efficiently, I feel, or we feel, is focusing on like the positive things rather than focusing on, oh, but what if that doesn't happen? Or like almost bringing in that like negative self-talk of like, yeah, but like who would want to work with me, or who would want to come and work out of a
Scarcity
studio.
mindset.
Do you want to tell us about scarcity mindset? Because we were talking a little bit off mic about this, and I'm intrigued
Behind the
to
scenes.
hear a bit more from you about that.
I won't go quite into that yet. I will further extrapolate what you were saying just then. So as Liz mentioned, it was like you want to feel the emotions of the thing before it's actually happened. Like in her scenario, she was talking about getting more clients. I think the reason why we were able to get the clients that we have in the first place is that, like she was saying, so we were sitting in here before we had anyone and we were just so excited and like stoked and thinking about it in like such a positive way. And we were kind of already at the stage of like feeling like it had already happened, like because we were like, the whole thing is like be and act as if the thing has already happened. So we were sitting here, we were excited, we were feeling good. So by the time we actually had people around to come look at the place and getting in to talk to people, that was like the energy that we were operating from. We were like so excited to show them, and we were like, how cool is it? And we just expected that they would want to be a part of it because we were so sure of it ourselves. But then if you were on the opposite spectrum and you were waiting for the results to inform how you felt, and you were kind of like from a position of, or like, oh, I will be confident once I get clients. You'll never get the clients in the first place because you come around, the person comes around, you're like, oh, well, this is a studio. Like, I hope that you like it. Like, I'm really hoping that maybe we can work together. It's like straight away you'd be like, oh, this person is like, does not believe, like, they don't believe in their own dream. Why am I going to commit to it? Whereas if you're already kind of excited and feel like it's this amazing thing before it's even come into existence, as soon as you start talking to people about it, they're going to be like, wow, this person, like,
Yep.
you just pick up on it, whether you want to call it manifesting or whatever it is. Like, energy is just so like visceral. It's so vibrant in the air. Like, you can feel somebody's energy and it's so contagious. Like, if somebody's up here and they're like showing you and they're excited, instantly you could be having a bad day and you start being like, oh yeah, I'm feeling you. Like, oh yeah, tell me more. Like, what are you doing later? Like, you just like want to be a part of it. So just like bringing your energy to a point, and that's just like what you're saying is like, find the things in life that get you to that energy. So whether that be the goal that you've had in whatever, and really like get yourself to that energy level now, and the path to that goal is going to be so much shorter. Whereas if you're waiting for the goal to happen in order to bring you to that energy level, it's just, it may happen one day, but like it's the difference between it happening in like a week or happening like a year or 2 years or potentially never. Because if you don't make the first step first to be that person who embodies all the things that come from that goal, then the chances of you ever reaching it are not high. But yeah, like we were talking about before, you were saying scarcity mindset. Yeah, that's kind of like just the opposite of what I was talking about then. We were just talking about how, and sometimes it can come about from quite what you may think of as like good traits or traits that are important, because we think to ourselves, if I want safety and survival, I need to think about all the risks, because that's kind of the way our brains are programmed. Our brains are programmed for survival. They're not programmed to thrive and to be happy and everything else that we want out of life. Our brain's predominant goal is survival. So we may have some thoughts about like, or I need to make sure that I don't spend too much money, and I need to make sure that this person gives me what they owe me, and I need to make sure that this is the right way, and or I better not do this because that's too risky. And it may seem safe on the surface, and like this is an important thing to do for my continued survival and functioning, but all those thoughts kind of contribute to the scarcity mindset. And then that starts to leak over into all other areas of your life. So you may start with a semi-functional thing of like, I'm not going to take the risk of like mortgaging my house, or I'm not going to take the risk of jumping out of an airplane, whatever you think is a healthy risk not to take. But it kind of ends up to the point of where you don't take any risks at all. So it's like, I'm not going to talk to that person. I'm not even going to apply for the job because I just don't think that it's going to happen. Good things don't happen. You start having all these self-fulfilling prophecies in your head, self-fulfilling beliefs of like, I'm not the kind of person who people pick for jobs. I'm not the kind of person who has good relationships. I'm not the kind of person who receives gifts from people. I'm not the kind of person who like can accomplish this, this, and this. And it's just like a downward spiral. So it's really important to, if you want abundance in your life, to have a mindset of abundance and to not wait for abundance to show up. You become abundant internally, and then that brings external abundance. So that comes back to like what I said at the start. It's your mentality that creates the reality, not your reality that creates and informs your mentality.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, how can you expect anything to happen in your life that you want if you don't believe that you are worthy of it, or you are capable of achieving it, or whatever it is, whether it's like getting a new job, or like you said, like applying for like a new mortgage, or whatever it is that you want in life. You've got to have the mentality. It's almost like we actually spoke about this yesterday as well. It's almost like have a delusional mindset of like I already have those things. It's almost like speaking them into existence like they already exist. And I know I've heard that a lot with in the bodybuilding space, like people going for like their pro cards, or they're trying to go for the win. It's like saying to yourself, I am an IFBB pro, or I am a winner, or it's like being so certain that you can achieve this goal that you almost believe you've already done it. And in that puts out that energy of like you were saying, your energy is everything. And it's like, if you're putting out that energy of like, I am worthy of these things, I am worthy of wealth, or I'm worthy of success and of wins and whatever it is, then you are going to bring that into your life. But you're never going to bring it in, or it's going to be so much harder to, if your mindset is, like you were saying, coming from a scarcity mindset, or it's coming from like some self doubt and a negative self-talk. Like, how can you ever expect to bring in those things that you want in life if in your inner narrative is telling you you can't get that? Who do you think you are to get that? Who do you think you are to think you could win a pro card, or whatever it is, whatever that mental noise is? So
I think that's great. But I would even go as far as to say it's not even delusional, or it's not any more delusional than what you've been telling yourself in the first place. Because a belief is a belief. Why is the belief I'm not a confident person any more believable than the belief I am a confident person? Why is one more delusional than the other? They're both just beliefs that you could have in your head. So if you've made up the belief that I'm not, how is that any more less delusional than if one day you just decided to believe and experience that you are?
that's a good point, actually. It's like they're all just stories that we're telling ourselves.
A belief is a belief. It's all just a story. Like why is one any more believable than the other? If you've decided to make up the story that I'm this, this, and this, why couldn't you just as equally make up the story that I'm this, this, and this?
You're the like writer of your own story.
Exactly.
Oh, did I just give you an analogy?
Oh.
Normally you're giving
The
me
great
analogies.
narrator. I am the supreme narrator of the novel of my life. I write and scribe with beautiful poetry.
People can think we've like had something this morning. We literally just got up and that's what I mean though. Energy is everything.
Energy.
We are like, we're vibing high. We're feeling so positive. Like, and that's a good example. Like this podcast is brand new. We might only have 5 regular listeners currently. Might be a few more than that, but we don't come into these podcast recordings going, oh, we've only got 5 people listening to our podcast, or that reel only got 200 views or whatever. It's like, no, we don't even, those thoughts aren't even in our mind. We come in here and we're like, let's create something because we're so inspired to create it. We're not thinking about the numbers and the analytics because those things will come. And that's like a good example of visualizing what you want. I already know we have a huge audience of people that love to hear what we have to say, whether they've come for the travel stories or if they've come from the introspective or if they've come for everything. People love to hear what we have to say because we, like, that's the kind of mentality you've got to have. You can't be having any self-doubt because, like, no one's going to listen to your podcast if you don't think anyone's going to listen to it. Like, you've got to believe that your audience is already there. Your the number of Instagram followers is already at the point that you would like it to be. Like, you've just got to imagine that those things are already in existence.
I also think if you want to be sustainable in any long-term creative endeavor, you need to be enjoying it just for the sake of the creativity, like just enjoying the creative process. Like
Yep.
if one of the components of you enjoying the process is that you need to reach a certain audience or whatever, I just don't think you might get lucky, but like with all of these things, they take time to grow, they take time to develop. And if you're not enjoying it from the start, just from the sake of like the creative process,
Yep.
chances of it becoming long-term is just not going to work out. And like you want to be creating and making decisions based off the things you enjoy, the things that you love, rather than making decisions based off like, oh, what does Instagram say is the most hot topic right now? Like, what's the ideal time to do this? Like, how long should my episodes be? Like, if you're trying to let analytics inform every decision, where whatever your creative endeavor is, I think maybe that might work for short term, or it might help you get like one viral video. But I think with anything, if you want to really make an impact rather than just trying to make a few dollars, like if you want to make an impact, then I think authenticity and just like love and passion and the energy you put into it should be the driving force of whatever it is you do.
Yeah, I agree with that so much. And I think we've spoken about it not too long ago. Like, when we think about Zen Den and what does Zen Den mean to us? What does this podcast mean? What does the whole, philosophy behind it mean? It's almost like leaving a legacy. So for Hugh and I, like, as you were just saying, we don't do this we're not motivated by things like analytics and, oh, how many views did we get, or is this going to be monetized one day? We don't think about that at all. It's the inspiration is the creativity and leaving a mark and leaving like a legacy. It was actually really beautiful. You were saying, like, wouldn't it be so beautiful for like if we have kids one day for them to watch these videos and see like what mum and dad got up to and them talking about their holidays? Like, that's what inspires me. It's not about like how well a reel performed or how many listens the podcast episode got.
All right, let's get it a bit more personal now. Personal stories.
All these voices.
I feel like you gotta. So we're talking very general context, but let's make it a bit more personal so people can resonate with us as human beings, identify with us a little bit more. So we talk about trying to not let your external inform your internal. So you imagine what the main goal is and the main thing you're trying to bring into this world, and how would you feel when that thing does come into this world. So for you personally, what is that thing that you think is gonna, like, when you think of like, or actually not even the thing, because we've kind of been over that in goals, but what are the emotions that you feel like are like they're up there for you, like top priority things of like, I go about my day and I do all this because I'm hoping to feel this way. Can you kind of describe to me how you hope to feel? Like, let's say everything externally happened exactly the way you wanted it to. How would that make you feel internally? What does an ideal internal environment look like to you?
I think relaxed. So I think a lot of the stress that I put on myself and pressure of like my daily to-do list and tasks is like I would hope that once I've done all of those tasks I've set out for myself for the day, then I can like relax, which I know is probably bad because I should feel relaxed all the time. But I think wanting to feel relaxed and accomplished and feel like at peace, because I think I know, like, I'm talking probably specifically more about work tasks right now.
Again, let's not focus on the external.
Okay.
I just want you to tell me, what does the ideal internal environment look like for you?
Yeah, like peaceful.
Peaceful.
Peaceful is probably the best word. Calm and peaceful and happy and like joyous. Is that a word?
Yeah, joyful.
Yes. Oh, joyful. Yeah, that's better. Joyful. Yeah, those things are probably the feelings I would want to feel.
Can you tell me the last time you felt that way?
I
Like
think
really felt that way, like peak body experience of like
yeah,
I'm 100% at peace, really happy, like feel
yeah.
like loving everything you
Actually,
said.
yesterday morning, I got up and I took Bella to Pizzey Park, and I hadn't really been there all week. And I was walking around. I did take my AirPods, and I was going to listen to something. And then I got there, I was like, I actually just want to like be in nature right now and enjoy my surroundings. And so I put my headphones in my pocket, and I walked around, and I just was like taking everything in. And I was watching Bella running around. She was cracking me up because she was like being crazy, like got the zoomies, and I felt really, really at peace. It was like the mixture of the fresh air, being there with Bella, walking, so doing like some kind of movement. And I do remember feeling like, oh, I feel so like relaxed and at peace right now. And I had a huge day yesterday. Like after getting home, I had like back to back things, which could have been stressing me out, but I actually felt really calm. And I was like, I know I have to go home and do all the things, but I'm not feeling stressed about it, which
Yeah.
I was really happy about.
So I will further extrapolate that, but just want to everyone listening at home, my inner critic is internally dying on the inside right now because her peak emotional experience was without me. But I'm sure that's nothing to look too far into. But anyway, back to that feeling and everything that you had. So going forward, then you could yourself really take note of that, and in your mind, your mind might say to you, "Oh, the only way you can feel that is if you 100% recreate that experience down to a T." But that's not true. Like now that you've felt that way and you are aware of what it is, what your version of like a perfect internal environment is, it might not happen overnight, but you can eventually get to a place, and something you can try and practice in your life is like, when I get up in the morning, because we have such good imaginations, I'm going to take myself back to that time, back to that place, and really remember like, how did I feel, all of those feelings. And what do you know? They're going to come up inside of you. And then if you can like really try and hold on to that and be like, take away this idea you have that you need those things in order to produce those emotions. Because that again, that's just more beliefs that we've told ourselves, more delusions that we believed in. I need this, and this, and this, and this in order to feel this way. No, if you've felt that way before, you can access that feeling whenever. So if you can now get up and start your day feeling that way, then everything externally around you is just going to like come about so much easier and just going to work so smoothly because you're operating from that state of mind and that state of emotional energy, rather than going about aimless in your day hoping that things are going to work out in a way that make you feel that way.
Yeah. I would like everyone to know I did invite Hugh on this walk, but he was feeling a bit tired. So you could have been a part of that, but no.
And I would have ruined it. It wouldn't have been a peak experience.
No, it would have been even better if you were there, because I love when we go on our morning walks, and I'd like to bring this back to our routine next week.
Yeah.
Because I really like, we do this like little, almost like a debrief or like a little chat and mental health check-in. We don't even intend to do it, but we just sort of naturally do it. And sorry, going a bit off on a tangent here, but yeah.
No, I do resonate with that, because some of the times I've felt the most at peace as well is just when you're out in nature and there's not really anything around. You don't feel the need to talk about things or to think about things. You just kind of sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of my favorite times are when it's the three of us just spending time together like that. Like this morning was nice. We had a bit of a sleep in as well. I would say this morning I felt really at peace as well. Like Sunday mornings are really good for both of us because we have like things we want to do today, but for some reason on Sunday I just let my guard down a little bit and I just allow myself to relax. Again, I could do that every day. And that's something I need to work on.
That's what we're kind of coming around to is
We're coming full circle.
coming full circle on. It's just like trying to you will find in life. And I think it's really important too to be clear on what does a good internal environment feel like for you, because everyone's going to have a different version of what a good internal environment feels like. Obviously there'll be similarities, but how can you ever hope to like be at peace and to have a good internal environment if you haven't even clearly like stated it and discovered for yourself what does that look like? You're just wandering around aimlessly like hoping that something external is going to make you feel a certain way. But if you can be clear in yourself of like, what does it actually feel like for me when I feel my best, then like it's so much easier to achieve that.
Yeah, you need a bit of direction. And again, coming back to the conversation yesterday, you actually knew the doctor that was that our guest.
Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, so we had a guest, beautiful Jess Martin, and she came on our Jess and I's podcast yesterday, and she was talking about this doctor, and a lot of her focus and work is around his studies, and she was talking about this like mental rehearsal, and it's kind of what you were just saying. It's like mentally like put yourself in that position and remember like the feelings and the energy that you had, and that's actually, it's almost makes it easier because some people might struggle with visualization. I know I personally don't, because I'm such a creative, and I most of the time I am doing these mental rehearsals and picturing things, picturing scenarios and how I think they're going to play out. But it's like if you've actually had an instance, like say walking around at the park, or maybe for you it's walking at the beach, or it might not be walking at all, you might be sitting at a cafe, like whatever that happy place is for you where you maybe have felt some peace, like you can actually repicture yourself in that environment because you've already been there. Like it exists in your memory, and that makes it even easier. You don't have to like construct this whole thing. I think when we're talking about mental rehearsal in that sense, that's like maybe more like that manifesting and picturing your goals. That might be take a bit more creativity and thought and like projecting into the future a little bit and thinking, what does my future look like? But I think for what Hugh's talking about here, it's like coming back to that place of peace and calm. You can do that by bringing yourself back to a time where you have felt those things.
Yeah, but the future can only be created from the present. So that's the whole
Yes.
idea is you think about how you would feel in the future in this imagined scenario, but you feel that now. And I think it's important to think about the emotional side of things because we're very good as human beings to play out like what the physical is going to look like, but we don't actually really think about how would we feel emotionally in that scenario if it was to work out the way we wanted it to. We might think about how we want the car to look or how we want the house to look or how we want whatever it is to play, how we want the job interview to go, but we just focus on the physical aspect. We don't focus on, how would the ideal me feel in that scenario? Like how would those things make me feel? So if you can focus more on like the emotional side of things, because that's really what we're after at the end of the day. We don't want a nice new car like for like the fact of just physically having a nice new car. We want a nice new car because of how we think it's going to make us feel. But a lot of the time we don't think about the feeling side of things. We just picture just the physical and then wonder why we're not actually ever getting fulfilled. It's because you're just filling your whole life up with these new physical things and changing the physical appearances, but you're not changing any of the internal emotional experiences.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's like like I was saying, be delusional. Like think about what you want in life and get creative. Like think about your wildest, craziest, biggest dreams. Because I think it's like drilled into us from such an early age. Like we're not really encouraged to do these things. And I think it's something that we really try to bring to our life. I know Hugh's been a lot better with that. For me, like he's like, what do you want, Liz? Like coming back to like, rather than trying to please other people as well, it's like, what do you want? And like you can go for it. Like you've been really good at encouraging me in the past with like career changes or adapting my business and scaling it and trying all these different things that are scary, but the only thing holding you back is yourself, and you're putting up a block to stop yourself from achieving these things. But if you were to picture like, wow, imagine if I could like scale my business so I'm making X amount of dollars. It's like, it doesn't even have to be a monetary motivation. I know money doesn't motivate me. It might motivate other people, and that's completely fine. But yeah, just think about like what that goal looks like and what that dream looks like, and be crazy with your idea. Like be as insane. And because you think about some of the biggest things, like some of the most successful people in life, like they probably started out having these crazy ideas, and look at like the most successful people there are, like all of those concepts or products or whatever they've created would have started from something crazy. And I bet people had in their ears saying like, this is ridiculous. Like you like, I'm thinking about maybe like someone like Steve Jobs, or like people.
So what I was thinking of too.
Yeah, were you?
In his little shanty garage on his computer with like using like his mum's internet or whatever, just like absolutely nothing going on. And then and everyone being like, what are you even doing, bro? And then next thing, like the biggest company in the world.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would have had some doubts, and he would have had people in his ear, but I think his vision would have been so strong. And I imagine he would have been a very visual person with his like creating products and picturing what does that product look like, with the iPhone and all of the different things that Apple has created. But I think it's the same for me. I like to picture like we were saying the example before, like what does the studio look like when we're busy and we've got lots of clients? Like what does that look like, and what does it look like when I'm in my in the content cave editing? I've got like my 3 screens. I've got like, actually picture what that looks like. Get really creative.
Well, everything at the end of the day is a manifestation of your thoughts and feelings. That's everything around us right now. We had a thought, it inspired a feeling.
And now look where we are.
And created. And manifesting doesn't mean it's going to appear out of nowhere.
No.
It just means that is what you will create, and that is what you will be a part of creating. I think that's what a lot of people get like real woo-woo on it, because they're like, oh, you just think this thing is going to appear out of nowhere. It's not like a magic trick. It's not like I'm going to manifest this thing out of a hat, like pull a house out of a hat or whatever. It's the combination of my thoughts and emotions funneled in a streamlined, consistent manner is going to cause me to take the right actions in order to bring this thing into my life.
Yes.
So everything around us right now is a manifestation of a conversation and a feeling we had, like however long ago it was now. But that was literally what it came from. Like we had this conversation, we had like a very strong feeling about it, and then that funneled our behaviors and actions in a certain way that led to the creation of this. So it's proof. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. Like anything, and it can work both ways. Like if you're in a really bad situation right now, equally you probably had a really negative conversation and had a really negative feeling, and then your thoughts and actions and behaviors coexisted around this that eventually manifested the bad position you're in right now. So it really works both ways. And like Liz was saying just then, I think is really important, is that your predominant thoughts and everything should be around the things you want. But I feel like sometimes, a lot of the time, it'll be about the things you're trying to avoid. But if you always thinking about the things you're trying to avoid, those are the things you're thinking about.
Yep.
So the chances are those things are actually going to happen.
Yeah.
When you're whatever it is you're thinking about, that's the stuff that you tend to bring into your life, and you tend to act out in your life. So you may think that you're protecting yourself from it by always thinking about this thing you're trying to avoid, but the very fact that you're hyper focusing on this thing you want to avoid is the very thing that brings it into play in the first place. So it's really important that you like try to fill your head and your day and your time with the things that you love and the things that you want to do, not the things that you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, because how many people have you had in your life, and like listeners as well, I bet you can think of people that say, oh, I wouldn't get that job. Why would they hire me? Or bad things always happen to me. Of course that happened to me. Shit like that always happens to me. It's like,
and it does.
It does, because you're telling yourself it's going to happen.
That's the energy you're bringing.
Yeah, the energy you're bringing is like you're almost like convincing yourself that it's going to happen again, and like look what happened. It's like, well, what if you change that narrative and you go, oh, good things always happen to me, you might start to see that good things do happen to you.
Self-fulfilling prophecies. Self-fulfilling prophecies.
That is a bit hard to say.
And if you want me to break it down for the sciences at home who don't like the woo-woo approach and prefer a more logistical, science-based explanation, it's the confirmation bias. So if you think a certain way about like, oh, good thing, like Liz's example, good things happen to me, automatically your brain is now wired to look for all the good things in your life. You now have a confirmation bias of good things happen to me. So you're going about your day purposely looking for anything that may resonate with that idea, any good thing, and you're going to find them because that's what you're looking for. Whereas if you have the mentality of bad things always happen to me, confirmation bias, your brain is now wired, you're going about your day, you're constantly on the lookout for anything that might be the remotest bit negative or bad for you. You reinforce that in your brain, you find the things because that's what you're looking for, and it further reinforces every day, gets more and more imprinted in your brain. See, I was right, that bad thing happened. See, I was right, that bad thing happened. So whether you want to look at it from a perspective of manifestation or whether you want to look at it from a scientific perspective of confirmation bias and rewiring and focus of the brain and the mind, both things work out the same way. It's just, in another way of saying it is like your mentality creates your reality.
I have a feeling that might be the title of this episode.
It's kind of been the title of like the last year of our life. We always seem to
we say that all the
come
time.
back to that.
Yeah, and I need to be reminded of it sometimes, and I'm sure
We
you're
all
the
do.
same. But it's so true, and I think what you were just saying, like just going off of your point there, like when people are saying, you know, oh, of course this happens to me, I think the word there is like cynical. Would you agree? That's a good way to describe people like that. And it's not that they're bad people, but I think they're just caught in their own like mental trap of telling themselves bad things always happen to me. And that's all it is. It's like, it's just mental noise. It's a mental trap that you're caught in, but you can get out of the trap.
Yeah, but it actually should be really good motivation for that person as well, because you should, if you can develop a bit of awareness in your life and be like, wow, look how much I believe that thing. If I can believe that thing so strongly, then what's to stop me from believing this other thing so strongly?
Yes.
Like if I have such a powerful mind that I have been able to create my whole reality around this thought and belief, why can I not use that same powerful mind to now create my whole reality around a completely different thought and belief that I've manufactured consciously, that I actually want to be my existence? Whereas up until this point, I've just been living in this version of myself that's been created by my surroundings and everything that's happened to me, specifically as a child, childhood trauma. We won't go down that right now. But now I'm an adult. Why can I not use that same extremely powerful mind, confirmation bias, belief brain to now hone in on this new belief, one that actually serves me, one that I actually want to pursue? Because a belief is just a belief. It just has the power you give it. So equally, all this power you've been given to this belief that's been forced upon you, why not now choose a belief that you actually want to be your life and put that same power and energy into that? And sure, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to feel weird at first. You can't have your brain and your mind go down a certain pathway for 20, 30 years, however long it is, and then just expect it to flip to a new one overnight.
Takes a lot of work.
But know that because you put that power into that, equally you can do the same with the other. It just takes time. Same as if you've been eating junk food for 30 years, eating healthy food isn't going to change you overnight. But if you eat healthy food for 2 years, you could probably completely reverse all the damage done from the 30 years of junk, because the body it's that powerful.
Yeah, and I think, I don't want people to listening to this to think we're having a go at people that are a bit more cynical. Like you just said, use it
It's a
as
product of your environment.
Yeah,
There's nothing personal about it. There's no judgment.
Yeah, exactly. And like use it as hope that like you can change. And if you are sick of being stuck in that like negative thought cycle and constantly being down on yourself, why do bad things always happen to me? Or woe is me? It's like, you don't have to be that way, and you've just got to put in the work to rewire your brain a little bit. And it's like building a new habit. It's like you've got to like rather than having the thought, bad things always happen to me, practice when that comes up, and also being more aware of when those thoughts come up. Don't just let them come up and sit with them and get angry. It's like, maybe like identify that thought a little bit and be like, okay, hang on a minute, like what's going on here? Like, be a little bit more aware of like the mental noise that's happening, because I think it's so easy to let that mental noise just tick over. But if you're not getting a grip on it, getting a grip of like the ego, because that's what it is. It's the ego. This is like, I learned a lot about this with speaking to Hugh, but also the letting go book, which I think I've mentioned. Letting go. I've mentioned on the podcast before, but they talk about this all the time. It's like loosening the ego's grip and not listening to those thoughts as they come up. See them for what they are and identify them from like a surface level, like that is fear, or that is whatever the emotion is behind it, and then try and flip it. I think it's hard. I can say from personal experience, it is so hard, but it just takes time. And if you really, really want to change that inner narrative, you can do it, but you've just got to put in the work.
Time and awareness. You really need to look. Really need to have a like a good little searchlight and just examine everything that's going on in your head and being like, wow, there's a lot of, because a lot of the time we just don't, but just spend time looking and being like, what's going on here?
Yep.
And don't let your environment hold you back either, because if you're trying to make a change internally, then by its very nature, that's probably going to mean you need to make some changes externally as well. So if you are somebody who's found themselves to be quite drawn into negativity and downward spirals of negative thought, chances are you're probably hanging out with people who are doing the same thing. So if you are starting to make a change and wanting things to be different, the chances are the external environment may have to change as well. And that may mean you have to not be hanging out with certain people as much and try and make new circles and whatever else it is. But yeah, we are a product of our environment, and we also create environments based on how we feel. So if you want to make a lot of changes internally, then sometimes the external is going to need to change as well.
Yeah, I think Hugh and I are very careful about who is in our circle, and we don't
VIPs only.
No, that's not even to.
No, I know.
It's not even to make us sound like vain or like you're not allowed to be friends. Or it's not that at all. It's just if we identify that someone is more of a negative headspace or a bit more pessimistic, it's not that we wouldn't spend time with them, but we might even try and help that person change that mental space a little bit and change the narrative.
We are with the new age Mother Teresa.
What did you say?
We are the new age Mother Teresa. We shall help those in trouble, lift them up to our level.
Oh, I hope no one's listening to singing. Who are these guys? Who do they think they are? But this is just our own experience. And I think, like I was saying, like we're protective of our circle and who we give our energy to, because we've both had to work so hard to be the people we are today. And I think we're both very like positive, optimistic people, but we haven't always been that way. We've both had things in our past that have pulled us more into like a negative, maybe more cynical mindset. But we both now I feel we really radiate a lot of joy and positivity, and we like to share that with the people around us. And so in doing that, we're also quite protective of who we let in.
We have no judgment at all towards anyone like for the way they are mentally, because it's the same as physically. Like you're a product of your environment. Like if somebody came in and they had burns or something, I wouldn't judge them on the fact that they had burns. It's just because of something that's happened to them in their life. They've been exposed to a fire or whatever at some point. It's caused their body to burn and have that. Same as if somebody comes in and they're being negative and complaining. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm looking at you and saying, oh, you've probably been exposed to certain things in your life that have caused you to be that way. But we take the mental side so much more personally. But the mental is just like the physical, like same as like an illness and same as any condition. You've been exposed to something that's caused your body to adapt that way. I'm not judging you because of that. I just need to be careful with like how much I get involved in it, because and that's for me as well. Like hopefully there will be a day where I am confident and aware enough in myself that I could interact with anyone, and no matter what they say, it wouldn't disturb me. But I'm aware enough to know that I'm not at that stage yet. I would like to be at that stage, but I'm not self-aware enough to not allow myself to be caught up in that. So at the moment, if I was to go hang out with somebody who's complaining all the time, chances are I would probably start complaining as well, and I would get in that mindset. And that's on me. That's on me to know that I'm not firm enough in myself yet to be able to be around anything and still remain me. I have a tendency to get caught up in my environment. So it's not a judgment call on the other person. If anything, it's a judgment call on me saying I'm not ready for that yet.
You say that, but I actually think I actually disagree with you. I think you are really good at holding true to yourself in a scenario and not getting caught up, because you're so good when you're in that scenario. Like if someone's complaining, I can see that you try and spin it and you try and give someone like a more positive outlook on their situation. So I think
that's true if I'm in a good headspace.
Okay.
But I think it's important to realize as well, like, yeah, so I would say 9 times out of 10 I can be like that. But then also as I think we were talking about the other night, like there is some days where you need to be aware of where your energy is at and where your mental state is at, and maybe on those days you do need to be a little bit more careful about the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually you get to a point where you can just be true to yourself no matter what. But until that day comes around, I think it is important that you be a little bit more selective with the kinds of people that you hang out with.
Yeah.
For extended periods of time, at least, anyway. Like, you don't just cut people out of your life.
Yeah, it's not like someone comes up to you and they're a bit negative. No. I can't talk to you. We're not saying that.
But you don't spend like half the day with somebody that you know has a tendency to bring you into those old thought patterns.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation. I feel like we've had some really good takeaways. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about on this topic?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think we did a pretty comprehensive retrospection.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a good place to end it, guys. Thank you again for joining us. I think next time we might do travel one.
It'll be another New Zealand one.
Yeah. Again, though, we're big on energy. We just kind of come in and we're like, what are we feeling?
What are we vibing today?
What's the energy?
What are we resonating with? What frequency are we at today?
Oh.
Are we at the frequency of travel? No, not the frequency of travel.
Maybe the introspective
introspective frequency.
Oh, but yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Next time will be episode 10.
Episode 10.
Wow, I can't believe
milestone.
we've already hit 10 episodes. Actually, I kind of want to bring on some guests once we've reached episode 10. So maybe that is in our future. I am manifesting
some guests right now.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.